Short Starbucks CEO. Risk more than others think is safe, dream more than others think is practical. I unquote. On behalf of the management, principal, vice principal, dean, chief coordinator, ambassadors of Entrepreneur Development Cell, Justice Bashir Ahmed Said College for Women, it gives me immense pleasure to extend the very warm welcome to all of you for the inaugural ceremony of Entrepreneur Development Cell for the academic year 2021 in collaboration with Tamil Nadu Advanced Technical Training Institute. We also appreciate each and everyone join us today and hope the inaugural ceremony lined up to be fruitful and engaging. To begin the inaugural ceremony with a spiritual note, may I call upon Ms. Rabia Banu of Final BCom Corporate Secretaryship to invoke the Almighty.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Surah Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amin. Translation. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful, Master of the day of requital. Thee alone do we worship, and Thee alone do we beseech for help. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom Thou hast bestowed favors, nor of those upon whom Thy wrath has brought down, nor of those who have gone astray. God has spoken the truth. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Thank you, Ms. Rabia Banu. Now, may I call upon Ms. Pranita of 2nd BCom Corporate Secretaryship to render the welcome address.
Good day to one and all present here virtually. I quote the words of Oprah Winfrey: "Don't worry about being successful, but work towards being significant, and the success will naturally follow." I unquote. There is little in life so reassuring as a genuine welcome. On behalf of the management, principal, vice principal, heads of departments, and teaching fraternity, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the inauguration ceremony of Entrepreneurial Development Cell, organized by Justice Bashir Ahmed Said College for Women. It's obvious to feel happy to deliver the welcome address. I'm also excited and feel blessed to be on board, as this entrepreneurial development cell is built with the intent to promote the spirits of entrepreneurship among our students. I welcome all our chief guests who have profoundly consented to join us this evening, and our dynamic students who are the indispensable part of this program. I hope you all have a prolific learning. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Ms. Pranita. Now, may I invite Ms. Shirin Alauddin, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship and Information Systems Management of Justice Bashir Ahmed Said College for Women, to give an insight on the annual report for the year 2019 to 2020.
Thank you, Safia. I'm glad and privileged to present the annual report of Entrepreneurial Development Cell, Justice Bashir Ahmed Said College for Women, for the academic year 2019-2020. The Entrepreneurial Development Cell was inaugurated on 6th August 2019 in the college auditorium. The cell was inaugurated by the chief guest, Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Devarajan, who is one of the 100th women achiever in the category of women empowerment. The program was started by thanking the Almighty, continued by an inspiration speech. The inauguration also cited the launch of the Entrepreneurial Development Cell's logo, as well as the launch of Facebook page. The logo, so produced new, is a symbol of EDC, of the Entrepreneurial Development Cell in a word. Activities of the EDC during the year 2019-2020 kick-started with the general meeting held on 12th August 2019. Dr. B. Barakat, Dean, and the Chief Coordinator of the ED cell elaborated the prior motive of the cell, also emphasized the need to include students from other departments in order to give them the exposure and training to start one's own business. And Mrs. Kadambari Satish, founder, Visionary Women's Circle, who joined the meeting, also motivated both the staff and students to share their ideas on entrepreneurship. Followed by an orientation program held on 17th August 2019. The first session hosted by Mr. John Hayes, Principal Lecturer in the Sheffield Hallam University, United Kingdom. He elaborated the various courses offered by the university, scopes for pursuing post-graduation degree in new trends in online marketing and entrepreneurship. The second session, headed by Mrs. Kadambari Satish, founder Visionary Women's Circle, she elaborated on the possible impacts of the ED and also conducted a debate on entrepreneurship. She introduced Ms. Pooja, a successful healer, to share her experience with the students. On 18th October 2019, a session on career development program was headed by Professor Vijay Kumar, founder, India Trust, a 30-year-old national public NGO. He elaborated the benefits of becoming an entrepreneur and conducted an interactive session with the students, and also offered entrepreneurship training program to our EDC members at his center in Annanagar, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. On 29th October 2019, session on imparting knowledge was held, and the session was headed by Mr. Joshua Gerard, COO, Tamil Nadu Advanced Technical Training Institute. He inculcated the skills required for becoming an entrepreneur in students and gave an outlook on the facilities available in Tamil Nadu Advanced Technical Training Institute for women entrepreneurs. A webinar on decoding entrepreneurship series, impact of strong leadership, in collaboration with Tamil Nadu Advanced Technical Training Institute, held on 28 April 2020. The first session, hosted by Dr. Sagai Rani, Director, Eduvisa International, and Dr. Iniyat Tendral, CEO, Universal Exports and Imports PT, headed the second session. Both speakers elaborated the impact of strong leadership qualities required to become entrepreneurs. Both sessions dealt in procuring internal and external qualities of leadership, and also students can to build leadership qualities in themselves to become successful entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving right along, the world is full of diamonds and gems, and we are having few of them here today. To build this event with this note, I would like to call upon Ms. Gayatri Sendalnathan to introduce the dignitaries for the day. Ms. Gayatri Sendalnathan?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Let me introduce you our first guest, the Best Entrepreneur Award winner, Mr. Kt Srinivasa Raja, the Managing Director of Adayar Anandabhavan Group of Restaurants and Sweet Shops. He was born in Rajapalayam, Tamil Nadu, a MBA graduate from University of Madras. He entered the business at a very young age and learned the tricks of trade from his illustrious father, late Mr. Kt Tirupati Raja. He is now among the pioneers in the field of sweets and working towards preserving the unique traditions while constantly reinventing the menu to meet the evolving taste of the new generation of global Indians. This company has the capacity to cater to over 250,000 people on a daily basis with over 12,000 workers, present in Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Pondicherry, Karnataka, and Nellore in Andhra Pradesh, and more than 136 outlets in India, and its presence today in New Jersey, Dallas in US, Malaysia, and Singapore. He is now planning to expand globally to meet the needs of Indian living abroad and to provide good quality taste South Indian cuisine to everyone around the world. Now, I call upon the best restaurateur and the King of Sweets Award winner, Mr. Kt Srinivasa Raja, to share his thoughts with us.
Thank you, Gayatri, for the introduction. I'll want all of you to excuse that my father won't be attending the meeting today. He's a little bit unwell and he's lost his voice, so I'll be kind of replacing him.
மேடம் வீடியோ எதுவுமே வருது இல்லையே, வீடியோஸ் எதுவுமே டிஸ்ப்ளே ஆகலையே, ரெக்கார்டிங்.
Gayatri, I think there is a network issue. Can we move to the second guest?
Yes, ma'am. Up next is Miss Indra. Every job has its ups and downs, but not every job can change a life. It takes a big heart to shape little minds. Miss Indra, a teacher in India, having moved to London and acquired legal qualification working in the local government managing solicitor's office. Miss Indra is a legal enforce officer in England who has more than 13 years of experience in children and family service, legal environment, and wrote novels concerning children protection, which was published in the UK Parliament by a Member of Parliament. Strongly engaged in women empowerment and children development through various articles and lectures, joining us today, a superwoman and an amazing teacher. And when I say amazing, I mean it. Now, may I welcome Miss Indra, Legal Enforce Officer, England, to share her thoughts with us.
Thank you. That's a great one, actually. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so privileged and honored to be standing alongside these incredibly amazing entrepreneurs around the world at this inaugural ceremony. I'd like to extend my congratulations to the Entrepreneurial Development Cell, which I understand is being running for a few years now and is flying to another year. Congrats for that, for the students, the staffs, the management, and everyone. I would have met you personally if it's not Corona, but thanks to technology, we are here listening to each other. Yeah, I've been asked to give speech on women empowerment, which I think is a very important and crucial topic to be delivered on this specific circumstance and among these young women seeking their career to be a successful entrepreneur. So we hear the word women empowerment in all talk shows, TV shows, social media. However, the scenario in many developing countries like India are still struggling to eliminate the gender disparity, though the constitution always guarantees the gender equality. Well, of course, the discrimination still exists in all levels, as you agree, of society, and in particular the corporate world. I should really appreciate all young girls here who had the courage to focus their career as an entrepreneur, which is mainly meant for men in this patriarchal society. So I really appreciate all of you. I'm sure you will receive ample support and guidance from the lecturers. And of course, you will have a full knowledge of being an entrepreneur through your education, which is the foremost key to women empowerment, I think. So you may learn the strategy, the techniques of running a business from people around the world. I'm sure you will come across Warren Buffett as well. So he had made a lot of videos on being a successful entrepreneur. But you shouldn't forget the women who sold the business to him for 60 billions or millions, sorry, $1 million. Actually, she is unable to read or write. But she started her business for $2,500, but then she sold it out to Warren Buffett for $60 million. She's an amazing growth, as you all agree. So women power is not something that we can underestimate, especially as an entrepreneur. They can do more. So I would like you to keep in mind about that. As also, I just want to point out, it's just the education enough, just the techniques, just the strategy. But before we go on to that, let me introduce myself, because you'll be thinking like, who am I? What am I doing here? Actually, I'm asking the same actually. And what am I doing here? What makes me stand before you all and talk about women empowerment? So am I eligible for that? So I asked myself, the answer is yes, of course, because I'm a woman. Being a woman, be sufficient to talk about women's rights. I'm one among you. I started my career as one of you. I studied in a local aided school in back home India, then qualified a teacher, then moved to London. I worked for the local government legal department, promoted as legal professional. And then alongside, I was looking at the business side of it as well, because I'm very interested in to see how people money, the tax money is being spent, and how much we incur, how much we spend, and how they are making to save money, all those things. So I stepped into the business side of it as well, which is quite interesting for me. And I had an opportunity to go in both, actually. The legal side of it, I sometimes work with the chief justices of the high court and all, but then I come here and work with the business manager as well. So it's like, going in both the ways, because both are important for me. I work for the children and young people services. So it's like um, more of child protection, and the way that law and guidance being implemented in this country for child safety, which really admires me. And that's why I moved on to writing about it. And I just started writing articles about child protection, and how it's very important to have a proper democratic system, to have it implemented in India, because I'm seeing my country, India, where the children are still on street. So I was just thinking about how we can implement systems, especially the democratic system. That's what I'm mainly concerned about. I just want to have a proper democratic system where all people are treated equally. Then we focus on the children, the family, and everyone, so that we build a proper society here. So I started writing articles, and then I thought, like, okay, articles is a bit boring maybe. So I thought, like, okay, we'll tell people in a way that, very easy, convenient for everyone. So I started writing novels, and that's, I make sure that is based on child protection and the democratic systems. So that's how I started it. Since it's mainly focused on child protection, it's been very welcomed in London, and that's why it's been released in the parliament, and got a real good appreciation for that. So I was thinking, like, being a teacher, moved on to a legal profession, and then to a business, and to a writer. I was thinking, like, how this all happened to me, a normal woman who will be expected by others to lead just a normal life, normal middle class life. Go, work, if you want, you can work, but still be a housewife looking after the children. That's what the expectation. But what makes me differ from that dimension and go for different things? This is because I listen to myself, and I question myself as to who am I. That's when I started different jobs, and looking for my identity, looking for my abilities, my skills. And I evaluate my skills and ability time to time, and I will not allow someone to judge that, because usually what happens, like, someone else in the society will be determining your ability. They will be saying, like, you can't do it. No, you are not from that background, you're not from this family, you are not from, something like that. You cannot do this. This is what people will judge us, each and every one. Especially when it comes to women, is different, because they all have a common idea of how we should be. And so I just deferred it, because I started thinking about myself, and I started questioning about my identity. But as you said, that the people will be pointing their fingers against you, saying, like, you can't do that, you can't handle this, you can't make an innovation, you can't implement it. That's their ideology, but not yours. That is their ideology, but yours are different. So this is what I would strongly encourage all students here, to believe in yourself and listen to your inner voice, and challenge you on what you can or what you can't. The society has actually designed a women with particular characteristics of what they want out of a woman, and what they can achieve out of women, and ask you to believe the same ideology. They will decide what you can do and what you can't. But I would suggest you to go on your instincts. What actually matters to you? What do you want to do? And what's your desire is? And how do you want to progress in your life? um, Asking about yourself what your legacy is going to be. So that what matters, I think. So being an entrepreneur, you need to be self-disciplined. You should have confidence. You should be open-minded, um, and self-starter. You know. So how will you achieve all these things? And just by listening to you and believe in yourself. I think the self motivation, self discipline are paramount here to be a successful entrepreneur. And to make a choice to live brightly, not in darkness. You should be able to live brightly. So don't, you know, uh, think about what others are judging about you. Don't deny yourself for anything. So I would urge all students here to go back today and just think about yourself. If possible, if you can make a note of it, I would do that definitely, because I'll just write down um, my characters. That's what I do sometimes. Like I'll write my characters, but we should be very honest with that. We shouldn't think about like what others talk about you. Oh, you should be a good girl. You're a very good girl. You're a very talented girl. No, you can't do that. You are very weak. Do not take all those comments in it. Think about yourself and be honest to you and write down your characters. I think that will help really. And also your skills and abilities. Don't underestimate you. Like you can't say like, okay, I can't do this without trying. You wouldn't have tried it. So always try something. See, you can do it. But I'm sure there's nothing impossible here, to be honest. I'm telling you that from out of my experience, out of my own personal experience, I can say is nothing is impossible. There may be like, we may doubt ourselves, like that will reduce our abilities to achieve more. That's what it will do, doubting ourselves and saying like, no, I can't do it. It will reduce your ability, but try something, go forward. As an entrepreneur, I'm sure that you should be able to take risk. So undertake this task today. um, I think entrepreneur, the name means to undertake, isn't it? So I'll give you the first task for yourself. Just undertake this task. Think about yourself, and you will know. You'll come to know your identity, what your identity will be. You'll know that you are unique, and you are completely worthy enough to achieve. So I would emphasize a strong determination to success and a thorough knowledge of yourself, the basic for your success. So if I ask you, like after 5 years, I come back and ask you who you are, you should be able to say, instead of I'm the daughter of, I'm the wife of, you know, instead of that. That's good. Again, I don't say anything about it, because family and being a wife, being a mother is absolutely amazing. That's well and good. It's family. It's really important for a better society. But at the same time, we should be finding our individual identity. I am a CEO of, I'm a director of such and such company. This is what we want to hear from you as an entrepreneur. So good luck for that. I wish you all the best, all the students here. I wish you all the best. You'll be coming out, flying out with different colors, I'm sure about it. And you'll make the society understand the women can be the decision makers for the economic and financial decisions made by the country. So it'll be the role model for the future generations, I hope. So good luck. That's what I want to tell you. Like, focus on yourself, be strong, and yeah, be courage, and go forward. I'm sure that you will achieve. And if I can do it from that background, like from very small background, if I can achieve that, I can stand before you and talk about women empowerment. Definitely, you all will come up very well. I'm sure about it. You will be the foremost CEO, or you'll be coming in Forbes magazine. Who knows about it? So thank you. Thank you for the great opportunity, first of all, for everyone who's listening to me now. And wish you all the best. And yeah, thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was powerful, and we are incredibly happy to have you here today.
Great. Thank you. You're welcome.
Now, let me introduce our next guest, Mr. Govind Bala, the CEO of GDS Properties, who accidentally started a real estate as an entrepreneur with borrowed tables and phones, is now developed as an agency of 25 negotiators, training more than 250 personnel. A person who is committed to educate the ignorant people about the real estate investment so as to achieve financial freedom. Now, may I welcome Mr. Govind Bala, winner of 5 Dhanaharta Award for 3 consecutive years and 6 National Awards from Malaysia for 6 consecutive years, to share his thoughts with us.
Thank you for your warm welcome, Madam. It's a pleasure listening to Indra, very colorful, all the way from Thoothukudi
Thank you.
to London. Yeah, great. That's great.
Thanks.
Okay, I shall share now my viewpoint. It's a pleasure to be here to share my journey of 38 years in the real estate industry. Started as I was introduced. I started with a borrowed chair, table, and a phone. A good Samaritan gave me this to start the business, looking at my the spark in me. And I'm one of you. I'm one of you about 38 years ago. When I started my profession, I'm one of you. Just like all these people, all the students who are graduating from college, not knowing the direction, what to do. We keep trying and trying and trying until we land into something. Of course, I also tried many things. But today, my objective is to share with you, if I am given a chance to renew my life back to 25 years old or 20 years old, how would I strategize my life? How would I position myself? So by me sharing this with these budding entrepreneurs, I call you all entrepreneurs or professionals, you all will be able to shorten, you will certainly be able to shorten or minimize the mistakes that I or we people of this age have made when we started the business. So the probability of you making it happen, making a success is higher to attain financial freedom. It's a pleasure to be addressing all this women empowerment group. Okay, very good evening to you all once again. And as I said, as soon as you all graduate, I think most of you would probably be seeking employment. That's the normal start of people, because they don't know where to do or where to start. And well, some of them who have got the exposure, like Pooja, she comes from a business background. So like that, you will have a lot more students in our group who have got the exposure, who will probably start as an entrepreneur. To me, an entrepreneur is, just now Indra was giving a definition for entrepreneur. My definition for entrepreneur is a person who starts with nothing. A person who starts with nothing. You start from zero and end up having everything. That's an entrepreneur. You only have your creativity with you. You have to be creative. All these young budding graduates need to be creative. I think that's the essence of growing out to become an entrepreneur. So the first step towards becoming the first step when you want to seek employment, my suggestion is to become a salesman. I know you may have graduated with qualified degrees and all that, but I find that people who are from the sales background are the people who generally become successful, because that's where they learn to handle objections. That's where they get bettered. That's where they get exposures. That's where they meet people from various walks of life. So a salesman eventually will become an entrepreneur. That gives you the foundation, the stepping stone to becoming a salesman. A salesman will have the necessary foundation to become an entrepreneur, because you will have something that you have exposed yourself to, and from there you will be able to get yourself connected to something, to a particular trade, to a particular profession, to a particular and mingle with different kind of people, and that gives you the impetus to move and become an entrepreneur. Now, again, salesmanship alleviates fear of rejection. When you are in the sales field, I'm giving you reasons why you should go into the sales field. When you are in the sales field, you are able to handle rejection. There's always rejections after rejections after rejection. Now, until you get over these rejections, you manage these rejections, you come out of it creatively, then you become a better person to handle rejections, because salesmanship is a lot about rejections. Next, once you have handled rejections, it boosts your confidence. Your level of confidence comes up. That's very important. If you don't have confidence to meet the people, to meet different people from different walks of life, it is very difficult for you to handle rejections. So by handling rejections, it will boost your confidence, the level of confidence, and it improves participation. It also improves, when you are confident, it also improves participation. You see, I always say, don't be a spectator, be a player. We often become spectators. We like to watch people doing. We like to watch the parade going on out there. And eventually you find you are not part of that parade, part of that activity, that action there. So become a participator, participate in whatever you think. Don't worry, don't fear of rejections. Get into it and you learn, you fight the tough fight, the competition. There's always competition everywhere. Be it a profession or be it an entrepreneurship, there's always competition, and competition is healthy every time. And you don't have to compete with the other people. You always compete against yourself. I always tell people, you compete against yourself. Mark your standards, mark your level. If today you can do 5 kilometers, tomorrow you try to do 6 kilometers. It's just like a marathon runner. If you do 6 kilometers, you say, okay, next week I'm going to do 7 kilometers. Like that, you benchmark against your own performance. So you will win big. If you are going to compete with others, it will be a disappointment, because you only know, as what Indra said, you only know yourself, the potential of yourself. So don't compete with others, compete with yourself. Okay. Now, from salesmanship, you will learn how to pitch. Pitch. Salesmanship is about pitching. How do you pitch? You don't sell a product. The product should sell by itself. What do you sell? You sell benefits of the product. If you sell a house, you tell him what benefits it will bring. People know what a house is for, but you sell the benefits that could bring to that particular individual, knowing his history, knowing his requirement, knowing his dream. You try to help another person achieve his dream. In that way, your pitching will become very, very strategic, very accurate, very defined, very decisive. So pitching improves by doing salesmanship. Next, there are other benefits, okay, to compare in Malaysia. When you are an entrepreneur, when you do business, you pay tax after spending all the money on what is left. That's in Malaysia. But if you're a professional, you pay tax first at source before you receive the money. So that's the advantage between being a professional. I don't know whether this is true in the UK, but or in other parts. But in Malaysia, I always tell people, become an entrepreneur, because you have access to the entire funds that you have in your possession. Then you decide what tax you want to pay, not they decide what you should pay. That's the advantage of being an entrepreneur. Okay, one of the reasons. Life, again, it's wonderful. Life is about choices. I always say Life is about choices. I started my journey very simple. I started my journey as a government servant, okay, as a technician. I studied and came up, home study, okay, and came up to be a trained engineer. And I decided not to work for the company. I quit and went into real estate. Why? Because I want to be an entrepreneur. I decide what I want to make, not somebody else determine my 8 hours of time. I determine my time. How much am I worth an hour? Is my determination, is my production, not other people's production. So that's reason one of the reasons. So it's about choices. Now, so I made a choice and I became an entrepreneur, giving up, quitting the government job. And I always tell people, remember the 3 C's. There are 3 C's. First C is a choice. When you make a choice, you take a chance. When you take a chance, you bring about change. So remember these 3 C's, which will help you. So choice is number one. Make a choice. Every time you bounce into an opportunity, it's a choice to either take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. So remember the 3 C's: choice, chance, and change. So if you make a choice, you take a chance. You take a chance, you bring about change. This is for you to take home for the day. Next, goal setting. There are a lot of people who speak about goal settings. I think we are in the perfect time of the year. We have another 12 days to go to celebrate the new year. You will never find another better time to go and set your goals now itself. You're just budding. I know it's too early. You just don't know the direction, but I've told you, become an entrepreneur, the basic thing you can do is go and become a salesperson, a saleswoman. And I think you will be exposed to what you want to do in life. So goal setting. Do not let the pandemic disrupt your dream. The pandemic is going to be there. It is a global thing. So don't let it disrupt your dreams. Keep your dreams. I'm reminded of the late Dr. Abdul Kalam, the great president, who said, dream, dream, dream. And dream while you are awake. The dream that you dream while you are asleep is not a dream. Dream while you're awake. And then you can try and dream big. I'm suggesting you dream big, not just dream big. You don't have to be stingy about dreaming big. It is free to dream big. So don't dream small, dream big. Plan where you want to see yourself in the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. You plot. Log your dreams. Get a logbook today, this evening. Go and buy a logbook, a scrapbook, and log whatever you want, whatever your dream is. Whether you can achieve or not, it doesn't matter. Dream big. Plan what you want. Okay? Go on living. You're actually living in the best time and era to live your dreams. People don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. So start your plan. You will be there. Every tool and applications is available at your fingertip. Those days when we started, we physically have to work. These days, all these youngsters work with their fingertips. With one fingertips, it's just the tip of the finger to make money. That's how great an era now today is. So at a click of the button, you have everything accessible to you. Get your mindset right. I think reorientate whatever condition you may have come from, whatever background you may have come from. I think mindset, mind does not matter, mindset matters. Take this home. Mind does not matter, mindset matters. Take home. Always think, careful of what you think, because things are doable things. Okay. If you think something, it can materialize. If you think long enough, it will crystallize. So remember, thoughts become action, action becomes habits, habits become character, Character determines your destiny. Remember this. TAHCD. This is what it is. So do it. It's your choice to have scarcity. It's your choice to think scarce or in abundance. This universe is in abundance. It's a storehouse of abundance. It gives you everything you want. It's up to you to ask what you want from your dream that you have. So remember, challenge your previous thinking. Whatever your thoughts has been, if you are thinking that it is impossible, always remember, the word impossible itself says, I am possible. So look at it and say, it is possible. Yeah. Challenge your previous thinking. If somebody has told you, hey, you're not able to do it, you tell them, I will show it. I will do it. Even if you can't do it, never mind, fake it. If you can't make it, you fake it. You can achieve it. That's how convicted I am about this mindset. Have the best mindset you could ever think of. For things to change, I must change. For things to change, I must change. Nothing outside you will change. That will remain. But only things in you, the way you think, could be changed. So remember that. Next, believe you are the best. Always keep saying this. You are awake for about 10 to 12 hours every day. Every 2 hours, keep telling this. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. This is also, I believe, belongs to our President Abdul Kalam's quote. If I'm not mistaken, I am the best. I am the best. Keep telling, pounding every moment you get, every time you get a chance to break, you just keep saying this, I am the best, and say, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Yes, I can do it. And tell yourself, God is always with me. God is always within me. God is always within me. God is always within me. And tell yourself, I'm a winner. 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 And say, today is my day. Today is my day. Today is a brilliant new day. It's my day. I determine what I want to do. Okay, so this is focus. Next topic, focus. Focus on 3 I's. Okay, 3 I's. The I is intelligent. The I is income. Okay, 3 I's. For you to take home, take down what I'm saying. You focus on that, you will attain financial freedom. Focus on 3 I's. The 3 I's will determine financial freedom. Number 1, I is an active income. All the 3 I's, active income. Number 2, passive income. Number 3, leveraged income. Okay, active income is man at work, or in this case, women at work. All right, and that is your literal income. Your literal income, you pledge 8 hours to your boss, and you are paid a certain salary. That's your literal income. Your direct literal income. Your hard-earned money, sweated money. Passive income is derived from sowing the seeds of hard work, the seeds of the hard work. The little income, when you park it on some investment to generate income. That means you do not go to work, you don't work, you will be able to get passive income. That means you don't work. The third income is leveraged income. Leveraged income ideally comes from properties. It can come from many forms. It can come from gold, gold investment, it can come from bonds, it can come from stocks, it can come from any. So your income, your income derived from active must be transferred into leveraged income. Okay, ideally, I would say, I think Indian real estate is superb. So as any part of the world, be it London, be it America, be it Malaysia, anyway, I think properties is a good hedge against inflation. It will never let you down. Properties are always there for you. Okay, you can even leave it for your future generations if you wish to. So ideally, so how do you invest on? How do you get leverage income? You invest in low money down deals. Low money down deals. Okay, I call it low money down deals. That means you do deals where you part with small down payments to own the property. Example, if you put a 10% down payment, you can take a 90% loan. You actually don't own the property, but it's registered in your name, but 90% is funded by the bank. Now, when you do that, the 90% loan that you have taken must come from the tenant. 90% loan funding, the repayment of the bank must come from the tenant. So that's a low money down deal. Now, if you have mastered the low money down deal, you will probably master the no money down deals. That means you don't put any money, you go and leverage. That means if you can find a property for 100,000, and in this point of time when the COVID, the market is down, is suppressed, things are going down, people are hard pressed, people need to exit, people sell for many reasons. If you can identify the right property from 100,000 to 70,000, you already make money when you buy. So you got 30% cash locked in. That means on your entry, you already made 30% margin. So this is one way of doing it. But anyway, you all are just budding. But I want the important thing is I want to tell you there are 3 types of income: active, passive, and leveraged income. So you can take home this. You may not be able to start immediately, but you have to make sure that how are you, once you have saved this kind of money, how do you sow the seeds on active income? How do you sow the seeds on active income? When you have your active income from your work, it can be salary, it can be commissions, whatever you receive, it comes into a pool account. Now, from this pool account, you need to divide in proportion into 3 other accounts. Okay, 3 other accounts. Account 1, account 2, account 3. The first account is a security account. That security account serves you as an emergency fund. It's an emergency fund. In the event you lose your job, in the event your company goes bust, in the event that you lose out your income, your emergency fund will kick in. Now, what is the size of the emergency fund? Depending on your profession, how long will you take? If you're earning $3,000 and a month, and if you lose your job, how many months of reserve? How long will you take to find another job? If it takes you 6 months to find another replacement job, and then it is 6 times 3, $18,000 reserve in the security account. That's the emergency. Number 2 account is an investment account. Okay, I hope you all are following. You are supposed to take your active income, park it on account 1, account 2, and account 3. Account 1 saves as a security account. Account 2 saves as a investment account. Now, this investment account, if your amount is large enough to invest, you can either buy gold, you can buy stocks, you can pay a down payment to leverage your property. Okay, that's account 2. Account 3 is your leisure account. The leisure account is for the purpose of enjoying a holiday, traveling, to get your gadgets. Nowadays, it's too tempting to look at gadgets. Young people like to spend their money on gadgets, cars, and all these things. But always remember, a car is a depreciable asset. It is never appreciating. So whenever a person buys a new car, I say you have bought a scrap. You didn't buy a car, you bought a scrap. Because the ultimate place where it would go is a scrap yard, right? So that's why I call it a scrap. But if you had bought a property, then you have bought an asset. What is an asset? Asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. So a car is a liability. If you're a Grab driver, then the car is an asset. Okay, so don't get me wrong. If you're a Grab driver, the car is an asset because the car is putting money into your pocket. All right, so that's how it works. So the amount of money you're going to put on account 1, account 2, account 3, physically, I'm telling you, wherever you own an account, go and open 3 other accounts for you to park the money in the account. So in proportion to how what you can afford. If you all are single people can save 50% of their salary. If you're married, probably you can save 70% or 80%. Right? If you have children, probably you can only save 10%. So that's how it graduates. So what I would normally suggest is, how soon do you want to buy an asset? How soon you want to park your property on That means how soon do you want to achieve your passive income trickling in? The passive income. That's what our goal. The ultimate aim to financial freedom is you work less, and when you work less hours, it's replaced by the passive income and the leveraged income. So that's the idea. So how much you are going to put into the three various account is determined by you, the percentage, whether it's 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever amount, you have to segregate and park it on this account, on the various three accounts. And you got to be very, very, very disciplined. No matter what, never touch the, Ms. Indra said, you must be disciplined. I'm telling you again, you must be disciplined. You should never touch under any circumstances the investment account. You should only go for the emergency account if you need be. If you don't have enough money in the leisure account, you're not entitled to change a new iPhone because you don't have enough money. Don't buy the gadget. Don't buy the car. Don't go for a holiday. Discipline. This is delayed gratitude. If you delay your initial gratifications, you will be successful at a later date where you probably can retire and stay home. Obviously, nobody retires and stay home. I'm proudly telling that I retired at the age of 40, but I still work 8 hours, 10 hours a day. All right. And that's the reason why I'm sharing with you all. Okay. Next. One other thing. The price of discipline is always less than the pain of regret. Remember this. The price of discipline is always less than the pain of regret. So don't forget. Now, next topic is process. Process. Okay. Everything you do, everything you start is a process. And as a process, it can be measured. It can be measured. I'm sorry, I forgot to put on my phone. Yeah, time's up, is it? Have I taken too much time? Shireen, you're calling me on the phone. Shireen, you're calling me. Okay. So as a process, you have to measure. As a process, you have to measure. You have to analyze. You have to quantify. You have to compare, and you have to improve. Remember the word MAQCI. You measure, you analyze, you quantify it, you compare to see where you need to tweak the parameters you have written down, and then you make improvements to it. So Mackie, just remember that. Take home. Write this down in front of your bed and keep it there so that you can remember that anything you do, you must measure. ஊர்னால தமிழ்ல சொல்லிடுறேன், ஆத்துல கொட்டினாலும் அளந்து கொட்டணும்னு செட்டியாருங்க சொல்லுவாங்க. அதை செஞ்சிருங்க. ஆத்துல கொட்டினாலும் அளந்து கொட்டணுமா, கணக்கு இல்லாத செய்யக்கூடாது, கணக்கோட தான் இருக்கணும் எப்போதுமே. If you spend $1, it must generate some income. Otherwise, don't spend the dollar. Be it renovation, be it improvements, whatever it is. That's how it is. Next. I think I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Yes. Maybe I would like to say this about the change. I told you just now the 3 C's, the choice, the chance, and the change. You cannot change yesterday. You cannot change yesterday. So don't worry about yesterday. But you can do something to change tomorrow. Forget about yesterday. Yesterday is a bucket full of ashes. You can't reburn the ash. So don't worry what has happened yesterday. So think about today. It doesn't matter where you were born, where were you born, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. It does not really matter. What matters is you can change tomorrow. Make a decision today that can change tomorrow. You may be born poor. Take this home. You may be born poor, but you are not born to be poor. You may be raised poor, but you are not raised to be poor. With this note, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. I hope this session has benefited you young people. I've shared with my full heart. Thank you so much, Shreen and Bashir, for introducing me to this group. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was super informative. Let's move on to our next guest, Mr. Zaruksha, the director of Grand Square Mall, Chennai. Graduated from University of Madras as a Bachelor of Engineering, Mr. Zaruksha left to Tokyo to take over the Japanese operation of the family's global gemstone business, where he became familiar with the way of international businesses. Mr. Zaruksha started his company, Precious Gems Japan, as a jeweler and received significant fame for designing the exclusive line of diamonds for Disney stores in Japan, which was sold in 100 plus of their stores across Japan. He also heads Grand Square, one of the most celebrated malls of South Chennai. He was instrumental in turning an almost empty mall into one of the most successful neighborhood malls in the city. The philosophy of the mall is to impact knowledge to children through fun and entertainment. Mr. Zaruksha is a fitness enthusiast, dapper, sail blogger, avid traveler, compassionate, caring, sensitive, and a successful businessman. He is the leader in the true essence and a source of inspiration for budding entrepreneurs. Now, may I invite the inspiring human, Mr. Zaruksha, to share his thoughts with us.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Thank you for the introduction. Good evening in Chennai, good night, good evening in Malaysia, and good evening in UK. Very
Evening.
happy to be here. Actually, I have a big connection with SIT College. My wife graduated from SIT, and then my nieces, most of my family actually have graduated from SIT. And it's always a pleasure. I've attended one event in SIT before, again for the education, the entrepreneurial development cell. It gives me a pleasure to come back again. It was very inspiring to hear both Indra and Bala talk, and I think I'm going to repeat the same thing. It's almost a cliche. Most of the entrepreneurs really talk about the same things again. Though it might sound cliche, these words are very, very true. Actually, I've authored my book, my journey from Japan back to India. And as Bala rightly said, I start with the quote of Dr. Abdul Kalam. He says, dream is something which you don't do while sleeping. Dream is something which will not let you sleep. I think it's a very powerful statement. And for me, I always felt dreams actually become reality. Once you dream something, opportunities will come to you. Somehow you don't have to go through the opportunities. It'll come. That's how my journey has been. And most of the things I've written in my book, and I also titled the book called it's called Yume no Monogatari, meaning story of dreams and entrepreneurial roller coaster ride for an entrepreneur, right? So basically, again, as Bala said, an entrepreneur's ride is not just about tasting success; it's about rejection. Having rejections a lot of times, that's another thing which I really endorse what he said. And very inspiring to hear Indra's story from Tuticorin. In fact, she's my neighbor. I'm my parents' native are Ramanathapuram, so we are just an hour and a half away. So again, that's a brilliant connection. And like both Bala and Indra, I've lived in Tokyo for about 20 years, and that's another thing. Like being abroad actually gives you a lot of exposure, and it gives a lot of confidence as well. Couple of things I want to tell, even from your college, probably Indra knows. There's a lady called Rehana Amir. She has been appointed as a counselor for the Corporation of London. She is
Oh,
yeah, you know her, Indra?
um, no, but it's interesting to hear about it. Yeah,
You can
I'll
Google her
definitely.
name. She is a
Yeah.
counselor for the London Corporation. She is
Okay.
from SIT. And as Indra said, just being a woman doesn't have to make you lesser than man. You have all the equal opportunity. In fact, women achieve even much better because they work really hard in order to um, narrow the gap between a man and a woman. In fact, I remember like when I used to when I used to travel when I was young, back from my father used to live in Hong Kong. When we used to come back, sometimes there used to be a huge line for customs. That was it was like a nightmare. And sometimes you tend to go to a woman customs officer thinking she might be more lenient, but at the end she would have she would be much more strict. Isn't it true, Vala? Probably you had the same experience.
Yes. I agree. I
It
agree.
is.
It's true for same thing. Like even if you go to an immigration officer or any officer, women are more strict because they need to prove that much more that they have to be better. I mean, I think it's a very. I mean, I could actually sympathize. I mean, though I'm man, I can empathize. I can sympathize. Women really have to prove much more in order to become successful, and it's the success factor as a woman is much more. They face a lot more obstacles, challenges, but we've seen a lot many women breaking the glass ceiling. For example, first example, Chennai Pono is Madras Pono is Indra Nooyi. She headed PepsiCo, and what better example now than Kamala Harris? Again, a girl from Madras. We have to be very proud. So people from South India are actually breaking the glass ceilings. And I think probably in this batch, who was listening, probably that'll be the next Kamala Harris or the next Indra Nooyi or the next Indra. So we'll be
Yeah.
actually having somebody. And a few
Thank
things,
you.
what as Indra said, you need to have confidence. Like that's the first thing. And as Bala said, you have to have a dream. And the three things which I find as an entrepreneur, first, as I said, sales is very important factor. Only when you're a sales or marketing guy or a girl, you bring the income. Once you have the income, you need to have your finances in place. So lot many people just focus on the sales part of it, but don't take much care about the finances. So which actually ruins them. That's the second. So even if they ask me to uh, name which is the first or second, there's no first or second. Both equally plays the same role. Both your sales, marketing, as well as your finances is the same role. Another thing, third important point, which I always emphasize is there's no me in an entrepreneur. It's always a we. So one person cannot. For example, if you find, I always quote the example. For example, Microsoft was not just formed by Bill Gates. It was Bill Gates and Paul Allen. And Apple was formed by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak. Infosys was formed not by Narayanamurthy. There was Nandan Nilekani, Krishna. There are 5 or 6 founders. It's all about we. One person will not have all the qualities to be a successful entrepreneur. For example, my skills are mostly into marketing, branding, and probably the vision. But I do have certain weaknesses in administration and finances. So a good team actually bringing together makes a good enterprise. Basically, these are the few other things which are not an enterprise needs. And hopefully, inshallah, this and the entrepreneur development self. I've already been once, probably, like I would also, since I am in Madras, so I would like to interact more often with the girls there. And as girls, you're no less inferior than men. You have all the confidence, and you should go there and conquer the world. And then we should have the next Indra, actually. So somebody sitting in London right now. So the next one of you should be coming
Thank
back
you.
and addressing the session. Congrats to the entire team to putting a summit. Yesterday, in fact, when Joshua called me, it was a short notice. I'm having another meeting, but again, this is a new world. COVID has brought these things together, which we never imagined. And like Bala said, I see COVID not as a challenge. I see it as an opportunity. In fact, before COVID, I was just concentrating more on my mall. And after COVID, it really took a hit. Like the mall is one of the last enterprise to come up in this scenario. So I'm trying to do different verticals now. I started my own bookstore, which is called Moore Market. And I'm not trying to put every eggs in one basket. So there's a lot more opportunities which is open up for me. I think that's the same for everybody. So you need to learn new opportunities from these challenges. That's the biggest lesson actually COVID has got us. In fact, I think 2020 has been a very blessed year. Okay, I mean, we lost few people. All of you probably have somebody. I lost my nephew to COVID. So all of us have some personal tragedies during COVID, but COVID has also taught a lot of good things for us, inshallah. And we learn a lot of things from here. And then hopefully, physically, I would like to meet all of you guys one time. Have a great evening, and then really wonderful evening. And then thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We are so honored to have you here today. Let me introduce you our next guest, the Best Entrepreneur Award winner, Mr. Kt Srinivasa Raja, the Managing Director of Adayar Anandabhavan Groups of Restaurants and Sweet Shops. He was born in Rajapalayam, Tamil Nadu, a MBA graduate from University of Madras. He entered the business at a very young age and learned the tricks of trade from his illustrious father, late Mr. Kt Srinivasa Raja. He is now among the pioneers in the field of sweets and working towards preserving the unique traditions while constantly reinventing the menu to meet the evolving taste of the new generation of global Indians. This company has the capacity to cater over 250,000 people on a daily basis with over 12,000 workers, present in Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Pondicherry, Karnataka, and Nellore in Andhra Pradesh, and more than 136 outlets in India. And its presence today in New Jersey, Dallas in US, Malaysia, and Singapore. He is now planning to expand globally to meet the needs of Indian living abroad and to provide good quality taste South Indian cuisine to everyone around the world. Now I call upon the best restaurateur and the King of Sweets Award winner, Mr. Kt Srinivasa Raja, to share his thoughts with us.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So I'm Pooja here. I'm going to be representing my father, Srinivasa Raja. So who is a bit unwell today. He's lost his voice. And extremely sorry for the inconvenience. Like we've been traveling on roads, so there's been quite a bit of network issues. So I mean, hearing all the speakers speak before me, Indra ma'am, Govind Bala sir, and Zaruksha, sir, I don't think I have enough experience, but I'm just going to try and pitch in my points as in what I feel about the whole women entrepreneurship. You know, so Sharon ma'am, are the students allowed to kind of unmute and answer if I have any questions to ask them?
Oh, so you want to have a Q&A session, ma?
Just one question, if it's allowed.
Just a minute.
Or shall I just go ahead with this? Whichever works for you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So the one thing that I wanted to ask, apart from reading things in books about entrepreneurship and hearing people speak, I just wanted to know if what students think about where is the best example to kind of understand entrepreneurship, especially being a woman. So for me, I personally feel the best place to learn entrepreneurship or women entrepreneurship in specific is from your families, like from your mother, the best example. Um, Starting from holding the entire family together, dealing with different people from different backgrounds, so you learn the human resource management there. When it comes to the department of cooking, kind of sourcing the right materials at the best possible prices. So you learn financial management there, you learn raw material management there, you learn willpower from a woman, starting with your mother. So I think especially for women like us, the basic concept of women entrepreneurship starts with our family, starts with our mothers. So, based on my experience, irrespective of whatever education you get in terms of entrepreneurship, I think one main important aspect for you to become an entrepreneur is to gain experience. Irrespective of whatever education you get, I think experience is extremely important, whether you're from an entrepreneurship background or whether you're the first generation entrepreneur. So I think it's very, very important for all of us to kind of be willing to learn and also relearn, especially with this COVID situation. um, though the situation has been hard for all of us, I kind of found it really interesting when a lot of women wanted to start, get into cooking and brought up with a lot of innovative packaging systems with the constraints that they had, but still, they started a whole new business model, and you kind of see a lot of women into it. So I think innovation is another important aspect of being an entrepreneur. Kind of making use of every opportunity that you get, or creating an opportunity in a crisis is something that's very, very important. So for to be an entrepreneur, though there are a lot of attributes that you require, I think one main important thing is motivation. You know, the motivation to start a business, or the motivation to rise up from failures, like Govind sir mentioned. So it's very, very important to kind of always stay motivated and set your goals and just stay right fixed in that. Another thing I feel very important to start a business is you need to be very self-aware and do a lot of self-analysis. So you just can't, I feel, to run a successful business, you can't just jump into something that you feel can make money. I think it's very important to find what you're passionate about, and then kind of create needs or wants for the customers, and create the desire for them to kind of like your product or service. And another thing that I kind of find it very weird is the glass ceiling attached to the entrepreneurs. You know, you don't address a male entrepreneur as a male entrepreneur. He's always just an entrepreneur. But when you're a woman, you're a women entrepreneur. It's as though it's a huge privilege. But I feel women in all way are like, well equipped to kind of deal with all the pressures that a man can. I think probably because of the number count, this industry is probably male dominated. But I think every woman is equipped enough and can face all these challenges. Especially when you look into the social sectors, you find a lot of women, starting a lot of NGOs and social sectors, and you find a lot of social entrepreneurs being a woman. It's because you kind of find a lot of empathy from them, you know people, women especially, feel, they get down, understand the need of people, and then empathize for it and kind of find a solution out of it. So apart from that, I feel, so I think consistency is very, very important in whatever you do. And above all, I feel it's very important to focus. So when Govind sir and Zaru sir mentioned about the sales, when they mentioned that being a sales representative is very important when you become an entrepreneur, I kind of felt they meant about the communication skills. So being an entrepreneur, a communication skill is very, very important, because irrespective of whatever product or whatever service that you're going to provide, you are going to speak for your brand. So use every single day to kind of develop yourself, not just in terms of communication, but being presentable to kind of explain what you're trying to do. So use every single day to develop yourself. Even, you see, ideas flow in. Like, if you sit for 5 minutes and when you just discuss something with your friends, you get 1,000 ideas. But then to implement it, it's not so easy. But there is always a way. And to kind of conclude, there are a lot of societal standards, like how Indira ma'am mentioned. When you're a woman, when you're trying to do something different, especially this generation, you find a lot of women entrepreneurs, which is that's not common. People are not used to it. So there is a lot of societal standards. There is few constraints that society will put on you, saying that this is what you need to do and this is what you shouldn't do because you're a woman. But as she rightly mentioned, you are the only person who can judge you or please you. You don't always have to, kind of prove yourself to anyone. So nothing is going to come to you easy, but nothing is impossible. So fight for it, and I think you will get there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was very motivating. Our next guest, Dr. Inayat Tendril, MD, MHA from Suffolk University, Boston, is also the CEO of Universal Export and Import PTE. She is a speaker and a part of ambassador for Hog Modern United Nations. She is also a part of Chitra Foundation, which has published many books, including the bestseller Options and Discernment. She has published many papers in literature and healthcare, and she is also an active writer and founder of the exclusive international students magazine Europe. She is an advisor to many globally recognized universities and has trained more than 10,000 candidates in various countries, including USA, Singapore, and Australia. May I invite the talented Dr. Inayat Tendril to share her thoughts with us.
Thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you for all the speakers. Even it was very a knowledgeable lesson for me to learn from all of you. I'm Dr. Inayat Tendril, and more than talking about entrepreneurship, I would like to say break the odds. I want to tell how you're going to break the odds, do what you want, because that is how I did what I want. So with my name, you know that I'm a doctor, and then I hold a degree with healthcare administration, and then I'm into business. So what is it all about? Why is it? So my family, we do not have anybody involved in business. We are all expats. My parents are expats, and all of them are typical engineers, I would call them to be, working in all the big MNCs. And me becoming a doctor itself was against the odd, right? So that was a family type of a decision that I become a doctor, where I got my business scores to be 97.2, but I ended up being a doctor. So it doesn't mean I'm not happy about being doctor. It's just that I started finding my business interests and management skills inside being a doctor. I started to notice the management changes, how a hospital should be run, where are the issues, where are the loopholes. And in that venture, when I was working for one of the topmost hospital in Chennai, one valuable advice one of the doctors gave me was, why don't you put your business into action? Why don't you go learn how a hospital is run? And why don't you be a consultant for all the hospitals across the globe? And that was when I went against the odd. The society questioned me, what is this ridiculous decision of not being a doctor and doing something like non-clinical? Why are you wasting the resource? We spend so much for you. Are you not supposed to be passionate in treating patients? Is it not against your ethics? I would say keep away all this. Do what you like, what you love, what you're confident about, and what is your strength. Play with your strengths. Do not go by any society norms or what other people want, or do it. But at the same time, do what you love. If you are bound to something, like you should be someone, maybe take up some family business or anything, like my family wanted me to become a doctor, but I didn't give up on my interest or passion, because I kept both in a side by side line. That is why women are good at multitasking. You know, a simple thing, when you cook, you have all the three burners running at the same time. One has rice, one has curry, one has vegetable. We are good at multitasking. We know which ingredient goes where, we know which stage of cooking we are at. And same thing, do what you have as a passion, do what you want as a profession, do what you want to achieve. And I think nothing should be stopping you. One thing should stop you, that is when you have a doubt on what you're doing. That is the only thing that should stop you. And to be an entrepreneur, people say it's maybe a easiest thing. You just watch suddenly 4 or 5 new Instagram profiles coming up, and you think, okay, I'm the fifth Instagram influencer or a business person. No, entrepreneurship is basically a learning process. You learn, you keep changing, rewriting your business plan again and again, and then venture. And it's not over. The game isn't over yet. Okay, to run against the race with so many competitors, you keep educating yourself, innovating yourself. Being a healthcare person at Suffolk, I mainly talk about innovations. See, everybody has the same dosa shop everywhere in a restaurant. What is that one thing that brings you to your dosa? Is it the flavor, the recipe, or is it the way you present it? That innovation should always be there in your entrepreneurship. That uniqueness, that out of the 100, what is that one thing which rules you out of the 99, is the success concept to be highly successful. So this is one thing. The second thing is that my journey is very new, short. I'm just maybe 8 to 9 years into venturing as a business person and all that. But I have always been sharing whatever I wanted to do with many people. How do you do that? If you ask me, learn a lot by enrolling yourself into classes. Your lecturers and professors have lots of resources. Use those resources, right? There is every option available to you, and utilize all this when you are young. Okay, I know we all want to enjoy. I know we all want to spend our weekends happily. Yes, it is possible. But at the same time, if you cannot do anything at your young age, remember, when you will be less in resources when you're 35, 40, and when you want to venture, there will be lots of other things, lots of bank rules to stop you from getting a loan. There will be a lot of family commitments. There will be a lot of personal commitments. Your health is there. Being a doctor, let me highlight what health you have today when you're young. It's not going to be the same. What health we all had in 2019 is not the same today. We all are wearing masks. We all are scared of COVID. If someone sneezes next to you, you are running 10 steps away. life is not the same. Okay, so when you're young and healthy, please start your venture because you have the capacity to handle even a failure, right? Mentally, you have the courage to come up and rebuild, right? Physically, you have the strength to go up and down, at least to meet 50 venture capitalists or go anywhere to put your actions into plan and implement it. So these are two things which I really want you all to understand to become an entrepreneur and be successful. Next is that there are a lot of incubation spaces to do trial and error methods. Even Tati has an incubation space. You can utilize that. Start small and then get rid of your fears. Most of the time, everyone tells you why you should be an entrepreneurship. But I think many people don't tell you why several people did not become an entrepreneur because they fear if it will cost them more. Okay, they are fearing what if they lose. They are afraid what if they are not successful and what if the people around them would blame them or ask them something saying, hey, you ventured into this, what happened? There are a lot of negativities. I will say get through at least 70% of your plan with positivity. Look at all the positive things. Let's say your business needs 100 elements and you have 70. Look at that 70. See, you have 70 and then later start working out on the 30. Don't think the other way around that I do not have this 30 elements. No, change the way you look at things. Work with that 70 which you have. As time goes by, each and every element you cross, immediately you will find lots of idea. While you sleep today night, you think of something, you in 2 days time you get another idea, right? So keep going with the strengths and positive things available rather than stopping yourself from not doing. Let me tell you one thing, like around 4 to 5 years back, when I wanted to get into my master program, I applied across 6 to 7 countries globally, right? And then some countries responded quickly, some did not. And to get my American admission, it took me 8 whole months. Trust me, 8 whole months. And you will not believe me, I did not work. I was totally calm. I was just home waiting every night that an email will pop up into my box, right? So such things will happen. Such things will stop you. But I was very sure I want to make it to the US university and I did not want to take up anything else. And then it really happened. And today I do not regret for my decision. Whatever you do in your journey, may it be failure, may it be success, please do not regret it because this is all what we are made up of. It's not always the plus. It's not always the victories alone which pushes you to the success and limelight. You should have all the roller coaster moments. You fall down, you pick up, you have everything, and it's very nice. Success is not a full stop. I reached today as an entrepreneur, I'm happy. No, it's a journey. Keep pushing yourself to every end. Enjoy the failures also. In the failures also, find something. You'll find someone to guide you in that when you fail. So I'll just say there's nothing impossible for women. Okay, saying that women cannot do this itself, I think it's ruled out in this 21st century. Being in 2020 across the globe, we have been shining equally and above men. Okay, equally and above men. And please don't doubt yourself. Break all the stigmas. Get out. The world is so huge, waiting to welcome you if you have all the right elements in life, right? So I wish you all the success and thank you so much and congratulations to the university on their next academic year. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We promise we'll come out into flying colors.
Thank you, Ms. Gayatri Senthilnathan. Let's thank our amazing guest speakers for coming and giving a reason for us to think, innovate, and of course, for inspiring us. Once again, thank you so much for your thought provoking speech for the inaugural ceremony of Entrepreneurial Development Cell for the year 2021. Now, the most awaited moment is here, the virtual badge pinning ceremony. Are you all excited to know who are all the members of Entrepreneurial Development Cell for this year? Let's get started. President of Entrepreneurial Development Cell for the year 2021 will be Ms. Meghna of Final BCom Corporate Secretaryship. Congratulations, Meghna. Vice President of Entrepreneurial Development Cell for the year 2021 will be Ms. Ishrat of 2nd BCom Information Systems Management. Congratulations, Ms. Ishrat. Secretary of Entrepreneurial Development Cell for the year 2021 will be Ms. Kavya of 2nd BCom Honors. Congratulations, Ms. Kavya. Joint Secretary of Entrepreneurial Development Cell for the year 2021 will be Ms. Padma Priya S. of 1st BCom Corporate Secretaryship. Congratulations, Ms. Padma Priya S. And last but not least, Treasurer of Entrepreneurial Development Cell for the year 2021 will be Ms. Zainab of BCom Information Systems Management. Congratulations, Ms. Zainab. Now, may I request Ms. Meghna of Final BCom Corporate Secretaryship to propose the oath of thanks.
Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. How true are these words of William Arthur Ward? It is a tradition of our college to remember all the heads that work towards the success of an event. Keeping up with the tradition, we would first bow and thank God Almighty to have blessed us with the immense potential to stage such a wonderful event. I would like to express my sincere gratitude towards our management for their enormous support throughout the event. To be inspired is great, but to inspire is an honor. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our constant inspiration, our beloved principal, Dr. Shehnaz Ahmed. We are indeed fortunate to receive persistent support and encouragement from our Vice Principal, Dr. Firdaus Jahan. This event would not be possible if our adored Dean and Chief Coordinator, Dr. B. Barkat Ma'am, whose persistent support always brightens up our energy. We thank our Entrepreneurial Development Cell ambassadors for always encouraging us to raise our own benchmark. We thank all the faculty members of Justice Bashir Ahmed Said College for Women who graced us with their presence. A huge virtual applause is extended to our brilliant audience for their endless cheering. Though desserts are served at the end, the sweetness adds more flavor to the feast. Similarly, we would thank Mr. Joshua Gerard, COO, Tamil Nadu Advanced Technical Training Institute, at the end for his static technical support, without which this kind of a program would not be possible virtually. Once again, thanks to each one who has graced this event by their presence.
Thank you, Ms. Meghna.
I personally thank Mr. Joshua for the support extended. Thank you, Joshua. Thanks a lot for the technical support.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And I was listening to the entire conversation of all the speakers. I think it is wonderful to listen, and I hope all the participants would have taken home some points from everybody. So all the best to all the participants, and we are always there to support you for SIT College. Whenever Shirin ma'am asks, we are always there. And for all the people who want to start up their own business, we are ready to provide incubation space and any other support. So wishing you all a wonderful year ahead for the upcoming ED team and to Shirin ma'am.
Thank you, Joshua, and thanks to the speakers. Thanks for joining amongst us.
Thanks to Mr. Sharif Buhari for introducing me to this group. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was
you.
nice having you here amongst us. Thank you,
Thank you
Indra
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you. I
Always
should thank you for
coming
giving me
back.
this opportunity. Yeah. Really
And,
nice. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivasa Raja and his daughter.
Thank you so
lot.
much.
Thanks a lot. And Dr. Inauguration.
Thank you.
Mr. Zaruksha, he has left the meeting since he said he was into another meeting. So I will for sure thank him personally, and Joshua again for bringing him here to the EDC inaugural ceremony. Thanks a lot. And without the support of the management, principal, vice principals, both forenoon and afternoon, and the dean, the chief coordinator of EDC, Dr. B. Barakat ma'am, without her support, and this would have been possible. So thank you, ma'am. Thanks for everything.